Hey guys, Sam from Glasgow TCG here. Corby put up his deck profile for Forcible, so I thought I'd do something very similar and put mine up. So my favourite deck right now is Valentina. So Valentina, the Princess of Love. She has a J-activate cost of pay 2 blue. You also may pay 2 blue, and you may put a water resin with total cost 2 or less from your hand into your field. Fairly simple. And then when she J-activates, she goes to Valentina, the ruler of paradise. When she comes into play, she puts the top of Magic Stone card deck into this Magic Stone area. She cannot be dealt damage on my turn, and she gains 100 for every card in my hand. So as you'll see, the main focus of this is mainly to build up hand for Valentina, even while sometimes I don't bring Valentina out ever. It's mainly why I use Valentina. She also has a God's Art of pay 2 blue and 2 void, and she can gain control of target resonator. Fairly simple. So I'll move on to the resonators now. As we are playing blue, it's quite simple. It's going to be Cheshire Cats. So it's quite self-explanatory. 1 drop, draw 2, put 1 back from your hand, and untargetable by effects. And when it dies, it goes back to the deck and shuffles. Fairly simple. Don't need to explain much on that. Next, Alice's Little Scout. So Alice's Little Scout is a 1-drop 2/2 of when this card leaves your field, you may draw a card. Fits into the draw engine of the deck. Fairly simple. Next we have Hanzel, who is a 1 blue 1 void. She draws a card on entry and has flying. As you notice, these are all vaguely different attributes and all have the same sort of effect to draw. So next I have Squire of the Ocean Lady. She is a same 2 cost, 1 blue 1 void, and when it enters, draw a card. I feel 2 is enough because you don't want to clog up your hand with just monsters that don't do much without the support. So next I have 2 Cinderella, the Valkyrie of Glass. She is a 2 attack, 800 defense, 2 blue to call, and when she enters a field, it gains a glass counter, and when you have a glass counter, it gains 600 attack. Whenever this card deals damage, it loses the glass counter. She can also pay 2 blue to bounce her back to hand. So she's just recurring, she just keeps coming back. People have to go out the way to kill her. Nice wee 2 drop there. Next, move on to the 3 drops, which are 3 Medusa, the Deadeye of Purification. So this is a powerhouse of the deck. It's defensive, it's offensive, it does everything I want it to do. It is 1 blue and 2 void. So she's a Gorgon, and whenever this card blocks or is blocked by a resonator, put that resonator to the bottom of its owner's main deck. So it combos very nicely with something that will come later on after I go through the last 4 resonators. She also has an effect of pay a blue, and Gorgons you control gain 200 until the end of turn, and you can only play it once per turn. Fairly simple. So I'll keep 1 set aside for now. Next, it's 2 Etna, the Snow Queen. She's a blue and 2 blue and a colourless. So has an awakening of pay X, enter rest X targets resonators, and they cannot recover as long as this card is on the field. It just lops things down is the main reason I use it. It has a second effect of continuous. Whenever this card deals damage to your opponent, he or she discards a card. I've barely used it. I used it for the tap down effects, and I mainly use my little dudes who are pumped up by a card later on to just beat through. And then I just tap things down, and then because I have so many little drops, I just feel they power through. Lastly, Swordsman of the Full Moon. She's a big drop, but I only play 2, and the reason behind it is it's a big drop. I play 2, so it's 2 blue and 2 void, has flying, and when it enters, return a target resonator to its owner's hand. Get rid of pesky things. If you want to go for game, shove this down, bounce something big, and then hopefully you have enough resonators on field to just pile in for game. So move on to the spells / regalias / field / anything that's not a resonator. So first of all, I've got 4 Gleipnir. Gleipnir fits the deck very nicely because firstly it's the one for Valentina, so you would logically think I would play it. So it has 2 effects. It has 3 effects even actually, now I think about it. So whenever my J-Ruler deals battle damage to your opponents or a J-Ruler they control, draw a card. It's fairly simple, fits in with the draw engine of the deck. I have 2 of these down, I can draw 2 cards if my J-Ruler attacks. Fairly simple. Has a second effect of tap it, force one of your opponent's card to block if they are able. So this is where Medusa comes in. So I attack with Medusa and then tap Gleipnir to force him to block. Puts the resonator back to the bottom of the deck and still puts my damage through because she puts her battle damage before all that happens and then her attack continues. That's the little thing with Medusa. Nothing spectacular, but damage can go through. Last effect of Gleipnir is I discard a copy of itself and I draw a card. Fits in with the draw engine of the deck. Next, the main card that annoys people whenever I'm playing at locals is Shangri-La, the Paradise on the Ocean. So it's a 1 blue, 1 void. When it enters, draw a card. And whenever I have 5 cards in hand, I should start with all resonators on the field that are water that I control. Gain 1 +1 +1, and then if I have 5 or more cards in hand, they gain an additional 1 +1. So it's a 200 buff to all blue things, which powers up my little dudes, and it means I have an 8/1 Cheshire Cat that's untargetable, which is pretty solid. The fact it replaces itself is a main key, because if it didn't replace itself, it'd be hard to keep that hand advantage of 5, whereas if it replaces itself, it's really simple. Next I play 1 Alice's World. So it's a blue, 2 blue and 6 void. When it enters, I gain another turn at the end of this one. So what happens is, for every attribute that I control is different from another attribute. Like, say I have a were-rabbit, a gorgon, and a fairy tale. This would cost me 3 less if these 3 were on field. So it's just a nice. Mainly what wins me games. I draw through my deck, thin the deck, wait for it to come to hand, and then I've got enough resonators on board that this becomes just lethal because they can't recover if I keep attacking. So that's the main logic behind it. Next, I play 2 Rapid Growth. I'm beginning to see this sort of splash that is green in the deck. I only play like, I think it's 5 green. Yeah, 5 green. It just buffs up my things if I want to push through damage or push through spells, push through blocks. If I want to kill the blocker, it just means I can do it twice as well, so I can give someone an 800 boost if I have 2 green active. And next I play 2 Zeeks. So Zeeks is your spell cancel. It works really well. I don't play too many because I'm not playing a mono green deck, so I'm not always guaranteed to hit those green stones. It can shuffle things. It can shuffle the graveyard back, or it can give the 2/2 boost that I need to push over things or push for game even. Next, I play 1 4C. The deck is a draw engine. Sometimes you run out of draw, and this, hopefully you draw into it with your draw engine, just to give you like a little bit more option. It's a +1. It's just nice. 1 Keen Sense. This would get sideboarded in a lot, so I'd probably play 2 to 3 in the side. Just for now, in the main I've only got the 1. I barely ever use it, I barely ever see it. If it's there, I more than likely use it. If it's not, it's not. I let my resonators do the talking and hopefully block out until I can hit what I need. It's also useful against the Rezarn matchup to kill anything that's in the chance standby. So lastly, I play Charm of the Princess. It's sort of the same as the Valentina Gods Art, where I pay 2 blue and X, I can steal anything with X cost or less. It's a nice wee one-of that I enjoy and it's pretty. But it's there if they're tapped out, so they have no response. I can then steal one of their dudes and then again use all my little dudes to fire in for game pretty much. So lastly, I'll move on to the stones, which are fairly simple. So I've got 1 little red to pure stone. Always going to call blue with this. Only there to pump up blue by 2/2. If I have it open in the draw phase, I'll just pump something up. Even if it's irrelevant, I'll pump it up and then it becomes a stone again for what I want to do next turn. Next I play 4 Deep Wood. This is where the green source comes from. I need to play 4 because I play 5 cards that are green. I have spell cancelled, so I'm not too worried about split. So yeah, just needed for the deck. And then lastly, I play 5 blue stones. Nothing else needs to be supported, so mono blue it is. Anyway, thanks guys. This was Valentina. In the comments, let me know what you think, and if there's any cards you would maybe improve on, add in, or anything really, just leave a wee comment and a like. Thanks for watching.